Flying J Truck Stops alters its plan for the Thunder Bay area. City Council gets set to look at a new pet bylaw. And Pamela Wallen's Senate expenses go under the microscope. Thank you for being with us this evening. 9 years after their proposed truck stop sparked a rash of opposition, Flying J officials have announced a new plan to set up shop in the Thunder Bay area.
The company says it's abandoning its plans for a travel plaza at the corner of Oliver Road and the Thunder Bay Expressway. Instead, the Pass Lake truck stop is being converted into a Shell Flying J franchise. Jonathan Wilson reports.
It's opening up again, and that is a good news story for Shunya.
Shunya Reeve Maria Harding says she's excited to end the speculation and confirm that the Pass Lake truck stop, which has been closed for the past 2 years, will be reopening under a new name.
It has come to the municipality's attention that the Pass Lake truck stop will be reopening probably before Christmas. The owner is not quite sure yet if everything will be in order by that time. It has also come to our attention that the truck stop will be officially known as the Shell Flying J.
The name Flying J has been synonymous with controversy in Thunder Bay since the U.S.-based company first announced plans in 2004 to build a travel plaza at the corner of Oliver Road and the Expressway. City Council approved the $7 million project unanimously, but neighbors fought the development for years before finally reaching a compromise in 2007. In 2008, Flying J went into bankruptcy protection in the U.S. and then merged with Pilot Travel Centers. The company has hinted several times that it would soon move ahead with construction. But now, Pilot Flying J spokesperson Sharon Donnell says they are no longer planning to build at that location. And she confirms that the owner of the Pass Lake truck stop, Ron Parcher, is rebuilding that facility into a Shell Flying J.
And it will be operated by the owner of the property. It will be an independent operator. And it's a good news story for Shunya. It's a good news story for the traveling public. And a good news story for the people who are looking for work in our area.
The company has over 500 locations across North America, with the nearest ones being in Kapuskasing to the east and Winnipeg to the west. Parcher had previously secured a special permit to allow his truck stop to access the new 4-lane highway being built between Thunder Bay and Nipigon. It will be the only gas bar located along that 110-kilometer route.
I think we have missed the truck stop for the last couple of years. I think it's appropriate that it is being reopened, especially with the new highway going through.
There's no word yet on what Pilot Flying J plans to do with this 20-acre property on Oliver Road, which they purchased for $1.3 million. The neighbors who oppose the development tooth and nail say they're pleasantly surprised by the change of plans. They say Pass Lake is a perfect place for a truck stop, and they wonder why Flying J didn't just locate there in the first place. Jonathan Wilson, TBT News.
A Thunder Bay man will spend 90 days in jail for possessing more than 1,700 images of child pornography. 46-year-old Michael Todd Payne was sentenced today at the Ontario Court of Justice to 3 months in jail and 1 year probation. Payne was charged by city police in January and pleaded guilty in June to possession of child porn. A second charge of distribution of child pornography was withdrawn. A joint submission for sentencing from the Crown and Payne's lawyer was accepted. He is also prohibited from attending any parks, playgrounds, schools, daycares, or other places where children under 18 frequent. Payne is free on bail but was taken back into custody this morning. He will have to report to the Provincial Sex Offender Registry for the next 10 years.
Some residents of North Hill Street were witness to an unusual and disturbing sight last night. At around 8 o'clock, neighbors found a seagull stuck 25 feet in the air on a piece of fishing line draped across the street. Olivia Breton had just put her dogs out when she noticed a group of people standing on the street. She looked up and saw a seagull hanging by its wing from a line in the middle of the road.
He's hanging by one wing, he's trying to flap, and all he's doing is twirling himself around and getting the stuff wrapped even tighter and tighter around the end of his wing. The feathers on the end of his wing, of course, were all like finished. I mean, it's a creature, it's an animal. Like, they're so helpless. And that's our fault for things like that. That's humans, that's not their fault.
After being told hydro crews, fire crews, and animal rescue couldn't deal with the situation, the neighbors pooled their resources to get the seagull down. Using a piece of fence post, a blowtorch, and a ladder, they managed to burn the line, unwind it, and allow the seagull to fly away. What remains a mystery is how the fishing line got there. It continues to run through the trees through several blocks of property.
A new bylaw may be in the works for Thunder Bay, and some say it's long overdue. Right now, there is no limit on the number of cats or dogs anyone can have in their home or apartment, and that's led to some troublesome cases of animal hoarding in the city. Many communities already have bylaws in place, and there is a wide range in the number of pets people are allowed to have. Some places let pet owners keep as many as 6 animals, others limit it to just 4. Councillor Aldo Roberto thinks it's time for Thunder Bay to have its own bylaw, and he says the research is already underway.
They've looked at other cities, they see what they're doing, what their best practices are, and we're going to adapt those best practices. We're not here to reinvent the wheel and make up new ones. We're just going to adopt what other cities are doing, and from what we're hearing from the other cities, it's turned out to be a very, very positive tool in the toolbox to assist people in sort of taking care of individuals who don't take care of their pets.
Pets aren't the only bylaw for discussion at tonight's meeting. Representatives from the Regional Health Sciences Centre will also be on hand. They've been trying to get people to stop smoking on the hospital property, but that hasn't worked. So they will now ask Council to amend its municipal smoke-free bylaw to include the grounds of the hospital.
The province of Ontario has yet to reach an agreement with the federal government regarding the experimental lakes area near Kenora. The province has committed to cover the cost of operating the ELA, but time is running out. Ottawa recently cut funding to the 40-year-old facility. It was allowed to be reopened for a limited time while an agreement was worked out. Scientists from all over the world pay to use the station, and according to the Council of Canadians, the operation costs are between $200,000 and $400,000 per year. Kenora MP Greg Rippard, who was recently named the Federal Minister of Science, says he remains hopeful and positive that the process to transfer the ELA will be a success.
Organization out there in a position, given its academic connections, its global characteristics, to continue on with that research. Over the past 8 or 9 months, we've been working closely with that organization, bound by a confidentiality agreement, but supporting it with business plan development, and various strategic things that the IISD felt were necessary in order for them to transfer.
Rickford says it now rests in the province's hands. He adds he's confident the government will live up to the fact they're holders of the land, that the research is taking place, and there will be a smooth transition moving forward.
Ontario Provincial Police have now released the name of a man whose body was located near Marathon earlier this month. He's been identified as 59-year-old Miroslav Naboracek of Kitchener. The man was found by blueberry pickers August 3rd inside of a vehicle parked in a remote area off of Highway 17. Police say foul play is not suspected.
A hitchhiker who was seemingly desperate for a ride is in hot water with police following a dangerous stunt this weekend. OPP were alerted Saturday evening after a witness saw the hitchhiker jump on a transport truck that was stopped at a red light at the Thunder Bay Expressway at Red River Road. Officers finally located the truck in Shunya Township at Eldorado Beach Road and found the hitchhiker huddled in the space between the tractor and the trailer. He's been charged with a seatbelt infraction.
Food and housing are 2 areas of concern that local women's shelters always have to deal with. But today, Faye Peterson House and Beedigan got a boost from a local real estate agency to help deal with that issue. Royal LePage pooled together their resources and donated $3,000 to the 2 shelters today. That money came from a Mother's Day yard sale that was put on by the company with some assistance from AMJ Campbell Moving. Homeowners would drop off items for the yard sale, and others would buy those items or simply donate money to the cause.
People would bring in, a $50 check in here, put it in the bank for your cause. It's awesome.
Well, I think it's really important that when the community is involved in anything that has to do with fundraising for us, that they get to know what the issue is, right? They get to know that this is about violence against women and that the community is out there supporting us to raise funds for a really important cause.
That'll really help them with their first or last month's rent or whatever they need for their homes. So it is a really good opportunity for us to utilize the funds that we get from people like Royal LePage, which is really very, very helpful for us.
This was the first year the Royal LePage Mother's Day yard sale has been held. All proceeds go directly to Faye Peterson and Beedigan. The 2 organizations help women who are fleeing abusive situations, and in total that money will help hundreds of women and children in our community.
Thrill seekers and people who just can't get enough carnival food and entertainment turned out at the Canadian Lakehead exhibition over the past 5 days. The annual event draws in huge numbers and this year tops some of the biggest attendance figures to date. Courtney Rutherford wraps up what's been a fun week for everyone who attended.
If you've driven down Memorial Avenue in the past couple of days, there's a chance you've heard something like this. It's the final day of the annual CLE, and close to 70,000 people have walked through the gate. The fair has been around for 123 years, and the success of the event always comes down to one thing.
It's tradition. Grandma and Grandpa brought their children here. Their children are now bringing their children. And I think summer without the fair is not summer.
With various kinds of entertainment, rides for all ages, and various types of food, such as corn dogs and freshly squeezed lemonade, there's just about something for everyone.
Just hang out, have some fun, family fun, entertainment, spend lots of money with the kids.
Well, we've already done the Tilt-A-Whirl. I'm hoping that we'll do that one over there. I'm not sure what it's called. And we're going to do the Ferris wheel fairly soon. So
I love it. Every year I'm going to come. Best part about it, if you're going to do it, is do the Ring of Fire. Do the Ring of Fire.
But there isn't just thrill rides to test your level of bravery. There's also a number of games to test your skill level, like the classic dart game. With a number of prizes to be won from small to large, there wasn't a shortage of games to try to win one. Prize or no prize, those we spoke with have enjoyed every minute.
I went on, I like the Ferris wheel.
Why the Ferris wheel?
It's fun. It's really fun.
How come?
Because all the rides are scary, playing games all around here. The Zipper, Skymaster, Starship 2000, Rock and Roll, Ring of Fire, and the Yo-Yo.
So you're pretty brave then.
I think it's important so we can all get together and all go on all the rides together.
The youth stage has provided 21 small bands the opportunity to come play in front of a number of people throughout the past couple of days. To cap off the entire event, Harlequin was the final act to grace the main stage. The doors close until next year around midnight. Courtney Rutherford, TBT News.
Live from the Rock Folk Festival this past weekend with a lineup of over 20 performers over 3 days, there was definitely something for every music lover to enjoy. Tara Allaire reports.
Thousands flocked to Red Rock's Marina for the 11th installment of the Live from the Rock Folk Festival. Held on the shore of Lake Superior, the festival featured everything from jazz to blues to country to folk music on 4 stages. Renee Lamoureux is one half of the country pop duo Keith and Renee. The Winnipeg-based band have been together for 16 years and play festivals throughout the country. It was their 4th appearance at the festival, their last being in 2006. Lamoureux says it was great to be back in Red Rock.
If anything, it's bringing back a lot of good memories. So yeah, the vibe here is always so relaxed, and it's a great place to just get away. And yeah, coming back here, I'm just remembering all of those good times. So it's pretty great. It's nice, it's family oriented, and you can really hear the music and people telling stories, and I think that's really important, and that's what you get out of coming here for sure.
Jennifer Ives took over as this year's artistic director and put together a fantastic lineup of artists. She says the help of dedicated volunteers and the community have made the festival a success for the past 11 years.
One of the performers last night said, Red Rock and the people at this festival are incredible. People come up to us and say that they loved our show, that they're so happy we came, that is there anything they can do? Always thinking about how to make it better for everybody. And for me, that's what's magical about it, is that it's a community, not just an event.
The festival included an artisans market, camping, Voyageur canoe excursions, and children's programming. Ives says there's something special about the town of Red Rock that keeps people coming back.
The festival itself is almost an extension because the community here, they care so much about each other. There have been a lot of bumps in the road in this town, and the fact that it's still here and has beautiful parks and gardens and this facility and that they're open their hearts up to complete strangers. You know, I think it's just a magic.
Tara Allaire, TBT News.
Massive turnout this weekend for an absolutely filthy time that also raised some big bucks. Thunder Bay's first ever Dirty Girls Mud Run was a perfect outdoors event, according to run organizers. Charlotte Brown is still surprised at the number of those who signed up and came out to watch. Those taking part may have felt like they were doing military training, and that may be because the 16 obstacles were designed by the Lake Superior Scottish Regiment.
Some fairly unique obstacles that they're very familiar with through their own military training, but how they translated them to the piece of terrain that we used out at this old barn and the farm field behind was quite creative.
We had 150 teams and 750 racers, but everything went really smoothly and no injuries, everybody having happy, smiley, muddy faces at the end of it. So I think we're able to make it bigger for next year, or at least that's the plan.
The goal, on top of having a dirty good time, was to raise about $100,000 for the Canadian Cancer Society. But some last-minute sponsors stepped forward, bumping the final tally to $200,000.